In this video, I'm going to share my simple trading plan, including my full analysis, entries, profit targets, no matter if the market goes up or down. So make sure you stay until the end because I do have a special gift that'll help you become a more confident trader. Now let's go ahead and jump into gold. And now we can see that there were some moves that happened during this week, although it was mostly in consolidation. I myself only took one trade somewhere in here. But basically, let's go ahead and start with a clean chart like we do every single week. So let's remove all drawings and then let's go to the weekly time frame, reset. Let me save so I don't lose any of my work. All right, awesome. So we can see based on the weekly time frame that this weekly candle right here closed really strong bullish. So that means that there's a higher probability that price will continue in that way for the upcoming week. Noticing that we do have really strong resistance here at 24.20. So let's go ahead and zoom in so we can all see the candles, and so I can move this all the way over. There we go. So starting here on the weekly, I'm going to mark off the resistance level right here around 24.22. And of course, as we go down to lower time frames, we're going to adjust these levels accordingly. Another thing I want to do is actually mark off this little support here at 23.18, mainly because we have a bearish candle and then we have a bullish candle forming a nice support. And then I'm also going to clone this and then put the level right here around 22.90. Actually, let's see, let's put it at the wicks this time, mainly because both of the wicks are basically about the same length. So this makes our level around 22.88. Of course, we will make adjustments when we go down to lower time frames. So let's go ahead and go down to the daily and see what that is about. Reset and readjust. All right, awesome. All right, cool. So one thing I'm seeing off the bat here, let's adjust this top level. Let's put it actually right here at 24.30 or 32, mainly because right here we have this resistance that was formed. We have this big rejection and then price just sold off. So pretty much I want to focus on areas where price have either sold off really fast or bought up really fast. Those are going to be really interesting areas, mainly because everything moves in cycles. So even though this area is a bit choppy, let's take a look at this bottom level. Still looks good to me. We do have a lot of consolidation here, so let's try to make sense of this right now. So one thing that I'm seeing here on a daily level, I'm going to clone this and then I'm going to move it over to about 23.76. Let's see, 23.78. And don't worry about getting precise because as we move down, we're going to make it more precise. But I see this strong resistance here, mainly because we have this resistance and then price just sold off. This is a really big candle, an 826 pip candle. So a massive move, and I definitely want to pay attention to that. I am going to extend this daily line just a little bit. And we can see that we have some price action right here. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But then I'm trying to see if there's some other areas within here that I can make sense of and make sure that based on my trading style that there is a lot of range for me to get some pips. So let me measure this right here at 23.60. Okay, this is 160, or actually, is that 169? Yeah, that's 169 pips right there. Let me keep that right there. You see, this was, 800 and something. Okay, great. So this is 169 pips right here. So I am going to draw, I'm going to get rid of this because it's distracting for right now, but I am going to draw a level right here. And once again, I'm going to draw it right here at pretty much where the wicks are, mainly because we came up, rejected, came up, rejected, right here, came up, rejected. So even if I put it right here, it'll be totally fine, but I prefer in this situation to put it right there. So that is looking good to me on the daily. Still a little messy in here, so let's go down to H4 time frame and see if we can make sense of it. Reset. All right, great. So now what I'm seeing here at this level, I do see some consolidation, but I do want to move this up just a little bit to sit right on top of this resistance right here at 24.35. and that is looking good to me. This looks great on H4. This looks great on H4. Okay, I can see a lot more data. Okay, so this still looks good, mainly because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections, and then right here we have a nice support. And then right here we also have a nice support. We have a nice resistance through here. Even though it is messy, it makes sense that we should have our line right here at 23, roughly 17. So, and then this level is still looking good. So since we're mostly in an uptrend, I'm not going to draw any levels to the bottom, but if I were to do so, I would probably put it right at 22.77 if I want to get a little bit more precise right here, but we already have this level, so we don't need to really draw it. So let's just focus on what's happening right now. Okay, so this is looking good to me on H4. Let's go down to H2. Let's reset our charts. Let me squeeze this in. This is still looking good at this very top level. This, I do want to make this level a little slimmer. And then I also want to move this level so that way it's at 2380. Nice psychological number because it ends in either a 0 or a 5. And then right here, I want to also move it up. Not necessarily for this, even though we did have 3 rejections. Let me zoom in a little bit because it's getting a little tough for me to see. And let me put on my glasses. All right, so let's zoom in just a little bit. All right, so the thing that I'm seeing right here is this resistance and then price broke up. So today was NFP, and that means non-farm payrolls. It's a very volatile data release, so I typically don't trade on those days or around that time. As you can see, crazy price action here, but I wanted to line this up with this level. It's around 2365. And then we do have 3 rejections here and a resistance, so this is looking good to me. And then let's go down to the level that we drew before. I do want to make this level a little bit slimmer. This level was at 23.16.17. Let's make it slimmer and let's readjust and see how it will look. So I'm going to take this and actually I'm going to move it up a little bit to around 2320. Nice psychological round number. So that helps me with my confirmation of placement of levels. And then down here, okay, so we do have this, but we do have some price action within here. This is a nice, strong support level. So I am going to draw another level here on H2 at 23.90 or 22.95. And this is, I think, around the area where I took a trade before. So it wasn't like in this zone, but it was somewhere in here. So, but anyway, that was a profitable trade. So, okay, cool. So I'm just making this kind of short, mainly because I don't want crazy lines all over my chart, but I will extend it just a little bit, but I'll keep it slim. Okay, cool. And then, okay, this is looking great to me. All right, cool. Let's go down to our last time frame of H1. And just kind of get a sense of what's happening all over. Let me scoot all this in just so we can get the lay of the land. So this was that very top level, the first one that we drew. Ooh, you know what? Ooh, okay, this is something else I want to do. So now that I can see everything, I want to take this level and clone it. Oops, CV. Okay, didn't work out. Okay, let's try that again. Okay. So, ooh, and it landed exactly where I wanted it to go, so which is great. So I wanted to draw this level right here at 23.87, mainly because recent price action came all the way up here, and now we can see that price, let's scoot over, now we can see that price is sitting on top of this. So one thing I want to do before I start adjusting my levels, once again, I want to go back to the daily time frame and see what is happening over here. So I'm just going to, I don't know why it's not letting me do that. Okay, and then there are those lines that disappeared, so we're going to get rid of those. All right, cool. So I do see that on the daily time frame that we do have this strong resistance, and it looks like we do have it marked off, but I'm just trying to see. Yeah, it looks like price could potentially come up to 24. What is this? 35. Let me go back down to H4. 35. Okay, got it. Okay, so this is what I was missing. I think I'm good now. So when I drew the level, it was based on this wick right here and the fact that price came up here. So if I wanted to, I could keep this zone. Let me make sure that the range inside of this between here and here makes sense. So this is only a, well, not only, but this is a 69 pip area. And for me, I think I would feel a lot more comfortable keeping this off. So that's why you have to keep zooming in, zooming out to make sure that price is making sense to you, because when you're inside of the market and you're adjusting stuff, it just makes it a bit more frantic because you want to have a good game plan going in. So this is looking good to me. Okay, awesome. So now we have this set up here. Let me go back to the H1 so we can look at it. Okay, so now we have this right here. Let me zoom in some more. So now we can see this price action right here, but then we did draw off a level way up here. So price has the potential to go way up here from here. And then I want to just look left, just see if there's any other levels that price could potentially hit. I'm going to start using these horizontal rays just because I don't want to draw boxes all across the screen. So I'm drawing a horizontal ray at 24.17, mainly because this looks like a nice resistance level. And from here, price sold off tremendously. And from where current price action is, we can see with this dashed line, let's just take one of these and just measure. So from about here, yeah, that is 261 pips. That will be a massive, massive move if one of you catch that. That would be amazing if I catch it. Hope so. But anyway, this is looking really good. And then the range between here and here is 182 pips. Okay, so that is looking like good range to me. So the other reason I probably didn't explain it, why I want to measure the range, is because I don't want to just put lines all over the place. I want to make sure that it's zones that I want to trade. So these days I'm actually looking for bigger ranges, like 100 pips or more. But if it's a nice, depending on the strategy that I'm using, I'm actually doing more like longer term swing trades these days, mainly because the market has been pretty choppy. But I'm looking for these really big ranges so that way I can make sure that it's worth my time to actually trade. And then over time, this is how you build your bias in terms of knowing what trades to take and what trades to avoid, so that way you don't lose money unnecessarily for a setup or a range or something like that that wasn't even worth your time in the first place. So this is why I'm measuring. I've been doing this a lot more recently just to be a lot more cautious, especially in the summertime with it being low liquidity, meaning that people are on vacation and there's less people in the market. So just being careful. And this is definitely saved me a ton of money so far this month alone. So before we move further, I wanted to tackle this. So I had this marked off on my other chart, but I want to mark it off here. So we see that a support has been formed here. So we're going to draw this box right here on H1. And the reason why we see this is because we have a bullish candle next to a bearish candle next to a bullish candle forming a nice support. And we also have all these rejections here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 really nice rejections here. So I also wanted to mark this off on the H1 time frame, because going into my game plan for this upcoming week, what I would be looking for here is basically like a break-in retest setup. So I would want price to come down here and then come back up to here. And with that being said, I am going to mark off this resistance, this minor resistance level here. The thing that makes it minor is that we're drawing it on the H1 time frame and not on like the H4. So that is one idea that I have. And then, of course, if price gives me my entry signal above this level, then I want to take it all the way up here. Actually, let me get rid of this and let me use my measurements. I like using these days because it lets me know what the range is. So that way I don't have to keep drawing all these different lines. So this is 263 pips. Amazing, amazing. So on the downside, actually the market is going up. So really I'm not interested in anything but buys basically above this level. And then let me make it a different color so that way we know what's what. Okay, so pretty much any, like price could come, where's my, okay, so price could come down here and bounce up, I'll still be taking buys. And then price at the very least or last like point that I would be looking for buys will be coming into here and then bouncing up. So, and mainly I say that because we have this really big wick, even though it's NFP, it's still price action. And basically right here, this wick is shot all the way up and stopped here. So that would be my game plan for a price going up. And then, like I said, of course, if price continues to move up here, this will be the target. So on the downside, so this would be the area that I would want to start shorting. So right below this area right here at 23.54, mainly because this is the clear uptrend right here. And then if price was to come down here, I would still kind of play it safe. But the thing that I would be looking for is, let me see. So actually, let me get rid of that. I would be looking for a price to come from here all the way down to probably here as a first target. So this is 97 pips. And then here as a second target, that's, actually I said that wrong. Yeah, no, I said that right. Right here, this is 286 pips. So pretty much somewhere in this zone is where I would be targeting. But obviously the home run trade would be way down here at 341 pips. And then when you think about it, when it comes to the markets, price usually go up slower and then they go down really, really fast. So this is not out of the question. And then, of course, if price was to come further down, then my next target or my other target will be down here. But this will be an insane move, like 500, 600 pips. But it's gold. Anything can happen. So this is pretty much my game plan. And as promised, let me save my work so that way I don't lose anything. But as promised, here's a gift for staying until the end. I put together these 54 tips to eliminate fear and take profitable day trades. These are things that I actually do in my own trading. So go ahead and check out the link. It'll be in the description box below for you to be able to download your copy. And I will see you next time.